Hello? Alright, there we go. Ugh. Anyway, hello, and welcome to DeathMaster's Corpse Corner. With a continuation of our Quest for Glory playthrough, moving into the fourth entry in the series, Quest for Glory 4. The pinnacle of the series, in my opinion. Oh good, it showed up right away. The spookiest entry in the series.
Please insert your saved character disc from any of the first 3 Quest for Glory games into the disk drive, so that your hero can make the journey to Quest for Glory, Shadows of Darkness.
Yes. We have voice acting this time around. Yeah.
Your character has been successfully imported. Welcome to Shadows of Darkness.
Yeah. Doug is returning once again. This time he's Doug Bloody Man. For all the vampires. Yeah. We have a slight change to the sheet this time. It's this skill. Which is basically putting a name to the various things we've been doing the past few games, like doing tightrope walks and jumping off balconies and stuff. That's what this is now. It's its own separate skill. And it's a fee skill, so we don't need it. So. There's a few things up here. There you go.
You awaken from nightmares of flying and falling. You find yourself in this strange place. The only illumination, an eerie green glow. Where are you? How did you get here? Who brought you here? And how in blazes can you get out of here? No, make that 5 burning questions. What city did your luggage end up in this time?
So yeah. Right off the bat you may have noticed several changes. The first being, well, this bar here. We now have our health, stamina, and mana out on display in the field. We no longer have to go into the character sheet to see it anymore. Also have... Okay, they're not moving, but... The talk, touch, and look icons have their own move around now in this game. They don't seem to be doing it here, though.
No one seems to be listening.
Yeah. As he mentioned, yeah. Oh, 1 coin. Yeah, we lost all our gear except for our armor and a single gold coin.
You stumble and fall over the ancient petrified corpse. As you pick yourself up, you discover a dagger and some coins on the dried out dead body. It isn't going to use them anymore, so you take them.
How many coins? 5. And 13.
some kind of altar to the Dark One. The top is covered with sand. Torch holders flank the altar to provide light for nameless rites and unspeakable rituals. It's a rotted, ancient corpse, half buried in the cave wall.
Well, is there anything in these ancient corpses?
A brief search reveals a piece of hard grey rock, which you take, and some coins, 3 crowns and 13 kopecks. You find 30 assorted copper and gold coins on the body. You are in a large cave, dimly lit by glowing lichen on the walls. Strange, irregular outcroppings of stone grow from the ground, looking like the skeleton of some enormous beast. Here and there, petrified human bodies seem to grow half in, half out of the floor and walls.
Oh yeah, if you're wondering who that is John Rhys Davies, aka Gimli from Lord of the Rings, and Sala from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You are in a large...
Right.
That didn't do anything.
He was the biggest name to sign on with this. There. We have all our spells from last game, of course. Gonna go with open.
The valve is bound by magic. Your spell has no effect.
Man. What's this? Flint. Flint and steel, you say? Anyway. Some light in here. Or...
You find nothing else.
What about this one?
You find nothing else useful on the body. That did... That...
Alright, can we just leave?
The valve won't budge. If you had a bit more light, maybe you'll be able to see how to open it.
Oh, right. Can I just take these torches?
This torch is firmly embedded in its holder.
How about this one?
You take the torch.
Alright. So now we have a source of light.
You force the sphincter open with your dagger and pass through. You've made it into a large chamber. Stone valves, like the one you just passed through, apparently block 3 other passageways. There is a huge stone altar in the center of the room, and an exit to the south.
And also more skeletons. These ones bearing weapons.
You gratefully retrieve the shield and battered sword from the dead warrior. You hope that they will serve you better than they did their last owner.
Well,
The
let's see.
stone valve blocks this passageway to another part of the cave. Try as you might, the stone valve will not open. Perhaps this isn't the right time.
Alright, let's go south.
That didn't... That did... That...
Oh, hello.
As you approach the exit, you are confronted by two flying creatures. They have bat wings and spider-like bodies.
Alright, so... yeah, welcome to this game's new combat system. Well, that went well.
In a bitter battle, you were better than the badders. You kicked some butt, too.
Alright. The hell are those controls? So yeah.
The badder wasn't carrying any valuables. Besides, its body is really gross.
So yeah. This... and also I'm poisoned. Great. Because yeah, the batters can poison you. So, that's that game's new combat system. Yeah. Paladin sense. Yeah. For the first time in the series, they actually changed up combat to make this sort of weird Street Fighter thing. It's just... I don't know how to describe it. It's just weird.
It would be nice work if you could get it, but you don't know a flying spell. The best you can do is to levitate, but that just takes you up and down, unless you can find a way to let the wind help you.
Yeah.
You cautiously test the rope before crossing. It feels as though it's firmly anchored on both ends of the chasm. You are so exhausted that everything you do hurts. Better get some rest.
Oh, well,
Just
there's that
barely
danger.
made it across the pit. After some rest, you feel worse than before.
Okay. Yeah.
You slip through the mouth of the cave, just in time to avoid being crushed by its closing jaws. As the cave mouth closes behind you, you feel a strange warning tingle. There is danger here, although its source is not immediately clear.
Maybe it's this person standing over on these rocks.
You are alive! Only one person has ever walked away from there before. The town is
Oops.
due north of here. Be careful. There are many bad things wandering around. Good luck. Oh, by the way, my name is Katrina. I hope we meet again sometime. Farewell.
Okay. Alright.
Something... You can see the entrance to a large cave at the bottom of the pit. You catch an occasional glimpse of a horrid, multi-tentacled monster just inside the cave. You cautiously test the rope before crossing. It feels as though it's firmly anchored.
Alright.
You are so exhausted. You just...
Alright.
After some rest, you feel worse than before. You slip through the mouth of the cave. As the cave mouth closes behind you, you feel a strange warning tingle. There is danger.
You are alive! Only one person has ever walked away from there before. Who are you? How did you get here? Oh, there are so many questions I want to ask you. But I have to get home quickly. It is so dangerous out at night in Mordavia.
Mordavia.
The town is due north of here. Be careful. There are many bad things wandering around. Good luck. Oh, by the way, my name is Katrina. I hope we meet again sometime. Farewell.
Well, alright. So we are in Mordavia. Let's take this thing.
A six-pointed symbol seems to pulse with energy and comes loose in your hand when you touch it. You have the feeling that you may need this sign, so you carefully store it in your pack.
Yeah, Katrina there is the other rather notable voice actor associated with this.
The path is dripping with slimy goo. You're having a hard time maintaining your footing on it.
Being played by Jennifer Hale, aka Femshep, and a bunch of other things. She's the new voice actor for Bayonetta recently.
This tall standing stone has been carved so that the top looks like a squid is perched upon it. It doesn't look particularly stable.
Let's get out of here.
Your danger sense tingles. You sense deadly danger from the swamp. It might have something to do with the grasping, disembodied arms.
You don't say. What are these?
You see a floating, coruscating ball of light.
Up there's our arms.
The decayed remains of a human arm claw at you as if to drag you down to share its doom.
Well, let's not go that way. Alright. She said north, so let's go north. We're still poisoned. Oh, wait, no. Straight into combat already. Yeah. Yeah. God damn. Well, we're not poisoned anymore. I guess there's that.
Searching for the fallen beast, you find nothing of value, unless you were planning to start a flea circus.
Alright, I know where I am now. But yeah, as we're back to just regular export area screens now. No more world map. But we made it to town at least, in spite of everything. Hello.
A huge boulder raises a solitary wooden staff high above the clearing. The curved staff has a very organic look to it. Its curves seem somehow feminine. You can feel a sense of magical power radiating all around it. The staff feels warm and almost alive in your hand. You hear an eerie voice in your head.
This I must first do. The sacrifice of life for one of love.
You find yourself letting go of the staff very quickly.
Yeah, well, we'll be back here later. First, this guy.
How did you get here? Why are you here? Few strangers come to Mordavia. I am the Burgomeister. It is my job to know everyone and everything that goes on here.
The Burgomeister stares at you suspiciously. You tell the Burgomeister about how you came here.
Do you expect me to believe such a story? That you could walk out of that cave alive? That the cave would be open? Tell me no more lies.
Alright.
My name is Dmitri Ivanov. I am the Burgomeister of this town. Mordavia is a valley surrounded by mountains. There used to be a road which led from here, but heavy rains have created a swamp at the base of the mountain south of here. No wagons can get you in or out, nor can any person, except perhaps you. This is the town of Mordavia. There is an inn and a shop down the street where you can spend the night or get some supplies and be on your way. The sooner you leave, the better for all. There are many dangers in Mordavia, and we certainly do not need a stranger to stir up new troubles. The Hotel Mordavia has rooms and food. It is a safe place to spend the night. The shop does not carry much. We have been cut off from supplies for a while now. Still, you may at least restock your food rations before you continue with your travels. There are many strange and dangerous creatures that live in Mordavia. Trust nothing. The gates of this town are closed at sunset. Do not let yourself get caught outside after dark, for few can survive a Mordavian night or remain sane enough to speak of it.
Alright.
Just leave Mordavia quickly. No good comes from outsiders, and we do not want you here.
Well, alright.
Leave here quickly. Go, and soon.
Well, we're pretty banged up, so let's just go to the inn.
You've entered a small but nicely furnished country inn. Stairs lead up to the guest bedroom. The floor is covered with sawdust and peanut shells. The barrel contains the few shells that manage to land in it. The innkeeper stares at you with an expression of fear and astonishment. It is several seconds before he speaks.
This is the Hotel Mordavia. Rooms here are 15 kopecks for room and board. Pay for 1 week in advance. Your room will be the first room at the top of the stairs. When you want food in the morning or evening, just sit down over there by the door.
Pay
Alright.
the innkeeper for your room and board.
Thank you for your payment.
They stare at you in astonishment.
You say you are a hero. Well, we will judge you here by your actions rather than your words. Magic is a very dangerous thing. We do not trust those who use or are used by magic. Make certain you do not give us any more cause for alarm.
Hmm.
The Hotel Mordavia has been in my family for generations. It is the only place to be when darkness falls at night. Everything else is closed, and even we lock the doors. You must knock if you wish to come in. My name is Yuri Markarov. My wife's name is Bella. We are the owners of this inn. If you climb the stairs, your room is the first door on the right. The doors of the inn close before nightfall, so make sure you are always back before sunset. If you climb the stairs,
Alright.
make certain you are back in town before dusk. The gates of the town will close solidly to keep out any dangers. The Burgomeister is the mayor of the town. You will be wise to listen to what he says and stay out of trouble. There is not much for sale at the shop next door, but you may find something you need there. The monastery is to the north of here. It has been abandoned for many, many years, but it has a bad reputation. No one in town will go near it, and if you have any sense, neither will you. There are many ill things that roam this valley by night. Make certain that you never have to meet them. Never venture into the forest by night.
Alright. So, let's talk to these gentlemen over here.
They stare.
I am Hans. Pleasure's all yours. I'm a farmer of pumpkins and corn and a person of great importance here in lovely Mordavia.
Listen, I'm telling you, Igor's death must be avenged.
Wait, what?
Pleased to meet you. I'm Ivan, an elephant herder. Unfortunately, there are no more elephants in Mordavia, so business has kind of fallen off a tad.
Voice file broke there. Pay no attention to that. Also, you may have noticed that those lines didn't quite line up. That's because these lads kind of ad-libbed most of their
Guys,
lines.
is it just me or is Mordavia a wonderful place?
Oh, are you kidding? It's the greatest. There's many places to go, things to see. Are you kidding?
Right. Let's not forget that scenic cemetery to the east of town.
Everyone here's nothing but grins. Real friendly.
Yeah, except we don't know you. We don't like strangers.
Or anyone else that's weird and doesn't belong.
Rumors. You talking to me? What rumors?
Oh, there are no rumors here.
Unless you count the rumor that the castle is owned by...
Horse patootie. There are no rumors in Mordavia to speak of. The town of Mordavia is a quiet place.
Filled with friendly, joyful, stinky people.
Well, I'm not so sure about the friendly part. We tend to be very suspicious of strangers like you.
Yeah, well anyway, the town is filled with joyful and stinky people.
Yeah, happy, joyful, and stinky people.
Well, I wouldn't call us particularly joyful. As a matter of fact, most of us are pretty glum.
Oh, very well, all right, then Mordavia is filled with people, you know, stinky ones.
Yeah, many stinky people.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it many. There actually aren't very many of us around here.
Oh, forget it. Well, at least he stinks.
Alright.
The first door at the top of the stairs leads to your room. My wife will serve you supper in the evening.
My wife. So, yeah, this one here.
This door leads to your bedroom. This is the door to one of the guest rooms. This is the door to one of the guest rooms.
Yeah, let's eat.
No, don't sit there. You'll never know when an elephant will wander in. You eat your plain but nourishing breakfast. It has more than a bit of garlic added for spice.
The first...
Alright. Let's go see our room.
You unlock the door to your room and go in.
So yeah. Our room. Much like the last game, we have a chest for storage, bed, and that's mostly it, although we do have garlic cloves here.
You take a clove of garlic in case you meet an Italian chef somewhere.
Yeah, we're actually not going to be spending a lot of time in this room. We're going to be sleeping mostly somewhere else. Although, there's one more thing we can do here, and that's go out the window.
People have a poor opinion of people whom they see
Okay.
climbing out of windows and over roofs.
Alright, well, yeah, we need to wait until night for that one.
After some rest, you feel better.
Alright. That's done. Let's go explore the rest of the town. See about the general store.
So, you are still around, are you? When are you leaving Mordavia?
I can't. There's a swamp blocking the way, remember? Let's see what's in the store.
This
Cats.
general store is cheery and well lit, thanks to the warm hearth. The first things that you notice are the cats. They seem to be everywhere. Then you see the shopkeeper, sitting on her rocking chair as she knits. She's a very, sturdy-looking woman.
So, you're the stranger in town. I've heard all about you already.
Hmm.
Yeah, polite, aren't you? Manners are as manners do, as my husband used to say. We'll see. You can call me Olga. Mrs. Stovich is too formal after all. We don't welcome strangers here. They bring nothing but trouble. All the same, it's good to see a new face again.
Alright. What do you...
Let me see, what could you use? Well, besides my regular items like brooms and pens, I really don't have anything else for adventurers like yourself. Now, I do have some lovely sandwiches you can use for rations. And garlic, of course you'll need garlic. I've also got some oil you can use to keep the weapons and armor from rusting. And If you like sweets, I've got some yummy homemade candy. Although the garlic flavored ones have all been purchased by now. I'll have to make some more. Oh, and a shopping bag to carry things in. I have a couple of those left. 3 twists of candy will cost you just 5 kopecks. The kids love him. Oh, now garlic is a must-have item. It's just 25 kopecks for a bulb, and it will add flavor to any food.
Storekeeper looks around nervously for a moment, then continues.
You know, some say garlic also has medicinal and protective properties.
Against vampires?
My husband always said I make the most interesting sandwiches. They're very good for you, and I only charge 50 kopecks each for them. The shopping bag costs 50 kopecks. It is very useful for carrying your purchases or other large things. A flask of household oil will cost you 100 kopecks. It's good for door squeaks and can also be used to loosen up rusty wagon wheels. I can sell you a very nice large pie pan for 250 kopecks. I've always admired the men who can cook. You can purchase the hen broom for 350 kopecks. I'm sure you'll really clean up with it. What would you like to know about? Yeah, Bella's a good woman. She's the one who really runs the inn. Her husband just gives orders. Someday she'll give Yuri a piece of her mind, and good for her. The things she puts up with. Bella, she was a pretty woman not long ago. Was not called Bella for nothing. Losing her only child really aged her. What a tragedy. The castle north of town was abandoned for many years. Then, some strangers moved in 4 years ago. No one knows what goes on there now. But it won't be for the good, I'll tell you. Werewolves are gypsies, no question about it. They change into wolves at night, eating anyone they can get. Nothing can kill a werewolf but silver or magic. So you be careful out in the woods at night, you hear me? The gypsy camp is not at all that far from here.
Yeah, that word's gonna come up a lot, unfortunately. Travelers.
That is a bad place, and you'd better have nothing to do with it. It is dangerous, and should have been thrown down long ago. Many a stranger never came back after asking questions about it. So don't let your curiosity be the death of you.
Alright.
Yeah, my husband and myself had run this shop for many, many years. My husband passed on now, but I keep it just the way he liked it. A well-run shop is a busy shop, he always used to say. Not very busy anymore, what with the swamp. But I try to keep it going the best I can. Mostly housewares, but a few items that might interest you.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you may notice that there's no option for bargaining. Get to that in a second. Oh, alright.
First, select the...
2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing. Alright.
You be careful. We don't need you going around stirring up trouble after all. Got enough as it is. If you do find something interesting, you let me know, of course, won't you? Goodbye. Or, as my dear departed Boris used to say, may the winds blow fair at your back.
What time is it? Alright. So yeah. We will in fact need all these eventually. But as I was mentioning, we can't bargain for them. And she's the only actual shop in this game. So you may be wondering, what is communicate for then? Good
As
question.
you enter the northern part of the town, you hear the sound of a chisel chipping away at a stone block. A man is carving gravestones at one end of the street. Your attention quickly moves from the stone carver to the ominous Gothic building in the center of the street. There is definitely something not right about this structure. A sense of great danger and hunger comes from near the door of the massive stone building.
Our monastery. Let's go talk to this guy.
The headstone carver stares at you and then goes back to work. You introduce yourself to the gravedigger.
Me, Igor. Building was Adventurers Guild. No adventurers, no guild. Town Mordavia, this north part of town. Oh, this day job. Also work graveyard shift. Little graveyard humor there. Igor dig graves in cemetery. Igor put dead person in grave. Igor cover dead person with dirt. Igor put headstone on grave. Oh, plenty job security around here. Business is piling up. Little graveyard humor there. Again.
Yeah.
Oh, Igor not hear rumors. Igor not no stranger in town. Igor not no doctor make strange things in lab. Igor not no funny man in not funny. Igor not know many things. Igor not hear many things.
That one bit there is foreshadow. Reference something that hasn't shown up yet.
Bad building. No go there. Bad, bad, bad.
Alright.
He looks at you and then goes back to work. The door is locked. It's completely silent beyond the door. It's too dangerous to use magic in town.
Let's look at this
This
monastery.
is a bas-relief of a strange creature. It looks like an octopus with only 6 tentacles. You have a creepy feeling as if it is looking right back at you.
What happens if we use this thing?
The hectopus seems somehow calmer as you present the Dark One sign to it. You get the feeling that there's something it wants you to do with the sign.
Put it on the door?
Bad place. Very bad place. Go away. You'll be very sorry.
Alright. Fine. Well, the Adventurers Guild's locked up, so maybe we can find a way to open it.
What now? What do you want from me this time?
We tell the Burgomaster what you're trying to do in Mordavia.
Which
You
is...
are a good talker, I'll grant you that. If you do half the things they say you will do, then I'll be very surprised. The old Adventurers Guild is at the north end of town. It has been abandoned for many years, since we have not had many adventurers who could cross the swamp. Seeing as you are supposed to be an adventurer, here, have a key to the guild door. Perhaps you can find something of use there.
Alright, thank you.
Why are you always so curious about things? Don't you understand? Most things are none of your business. Never have I met someone who asks as many questions as you do. More sightseeing? Well, there was a lovely lake to the southwest of town that used to be very popular among young people, but I do not know what it's like now. To the east is the town cemetery. It is a morbid thing to visit, but tourists always wanted to see it when tourists were able to come here. To the southeast is Irana's garden. It is an enchanted meadow well worth visiting. However, Mordavia has become a very dangerous place since the swamps were formed. Do not ever travel at night. If you are far from town when it gets dark, try to make it to Irana's garden. It's the only place where you will be safe. I do not really want anything to happen to you. Be careful.
No, thank you.
Irana was a powerful magic user who was rumored to have come from somewhere near Mordavia. Her garden is supposed to be magical and keep anyone who stays there safe from harm. Irana died here many years ago. Her staff in the center of town stands as her memorial. It is supposed to protect the town from evil and to have other magic besides. It is bad luck to speak of her death. If you must know, she died in that cave you say you came from. I am not a superstitious man, but I will not talk more about the subject.
So this is first time we've hearing about Arana's fate. She allegedly was buried in the first game's Arana's Zone, Arana's Peace, but that's clearly not true.
I have been hearing all sorts of stories about you lately. No one is certain what to make of you. Yet. Be careful out in the forest. It can be very dangerous there.
Alright.
Try to avoid getting into trouble. I would not like to have you in my jail, after all.
You know, let's speed it up. Running is so jerky.
You unlocked the door using the key the Burgomaster gave you.
So yeah, this game is Adventurers Guild, which has seen better days.
It's a rare example of the deadly Moldavian moose, distinguishable by its long, fang-like canines. Someone has strung garlic around its neck, probably in hopes that it will stay on the wall.
And we have a book we can sign.
That would be a lot easier if the desk had a drawer.
Well, then why'd you offer it to me?
You read in the adventurer's log about some of the exploits of past adventurers in Mordavia. Prominent among them is the story of Pyotr and the Dark One's cult. Near the end of the book, Pyotr tells how he led the armies against the Chernovi cult outside the Dark One's cave. The fighters were trained soldiers, but the cult members fought like madmen. Suddenly, the cult members changed their forms and became grotesque monsters. Many of the soldiers panicked and ran. The battle was nearly lost. Then Pyotr heard the voice of Irana. "By all my will, I banish you to..." The voice was cut off. The cult members screamed and ran. Pyotr entered the cave and searched for some sign of life. All he could find were the grotesque remains of cult members. The only sign of Irana was her magical staff lying on the ground. Pyotr picked it up and left the cave, knowing that Irana was beyond his help. Pyotr then tells how he brought the staff back to town and placed it in the town square. A garden of flowers instantly sprang up around it. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells that he was going to seek out the rituals of the Dark One and destroy them. There are no later entries.
Well, let's sign
Your
in.
name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. It's almost become a habit by now.
Yeah. Let's look at what we got here.
It shows a proud-looking adventurer standing on an obviously defeated dragon. It might have had more impact if the dragon wasn't just as obviously winking. The plaque says, "Wish you were here in Silmer."
Oops.
Portrait of an adventurer long gone hangs on the wall here. A small plaque at the base reads, Piotr, Paladin. A finely crafted sword rests within this case, but there doesn't seem to be a door or any way to open the case. A plaque reads, break glass in emergency.
Well.
The case looks totally solid, as if it was constructed around the sword. A plaque reads, break glass in emergency only. The case is totally sealed. You can't find any way to open it. You break open the front of the case. Avoiding the broken glass, you pull out the sword. It looks like a fine quality weapon.
Alright, so yeah, we now have a sword that isn't shit. This is good. What have we here? Rope and a grapple.
Pick up the rope and grapnel set and tie it onto your pack.
Which we can use to practice our climbing here.
That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet.
My climbing stat is in the shitter. Significantly lower than anything else. Because there was nowhere good to train it in, like, the last game, or the last couple games, honestly.
That was good. That was good. That was...
Alright. Where's Finch?
You didn't manage to fetch any...
Oh yeah, I'll just do that. So anyway, last thing we have in here is...
This is either some sort of diabolical device or an exercise machine. Come to think of it, exercise machines are diabolical devices.
Yes. This is a device. Continuing where the last game left off with the monkey bars.
Stiff and sore to use this right now.
Oh. Alright. What time is it?
After some...
Show it. Yes.
Your legs are too stiff and sore to use this right now.
So yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, and there's this bookcase and stuff over here.
Picture frame above the bookshelf. Either somebody thought the wall itself was a piece of art, or a thief has been at work here. There are a number of books on the shelf, including Hero Magazine's Golden Guild Guide to Mordavia, Flora, Fauna, and Folklore.
Let's see what we got.
Which book do you want to read? As you scan through Hero, the Journal of General Job Adjusting, you find quite a bit of information that might be useful here. There are a series of articles about the land of Moldavia. The town originally grew up around Castle Borgov. The Borgovs were the boyars, or local noblemen, assigned the role of guarding the area from invaders. The chapter on fauna describes a number of interesting creatures. The Necritor is a vicious carnivore with big, sharp teeth. Some of the other monsters sound even more horrific.
Necrotor is the thing we fought on the way to town.
A creature known for playing practical jokes on travelers and playing riddle games, but which can also be helpful to those it likes. You learn about the Rosalka, the spirit of a murdered, unmarried woman. Such spirits are said to inhabit lakes and rivers. They try to avenge themselves by drowning any man foolish enough to approach them. You could really learn a lot by reading this magazine thoroughly, instead of just browsing through it. Isn't it nice that we included a complete copy in your game box?
Wink, wink. Yeah, that's in the game guide for sure.
The book turns out to be an advertising brochure. It says, "I, Dr. Cranium, predict that someday one of my descendants will become the subject of a major computer game. The Castle of Dr. Brain from Sierra Online." Jeez, how cheesy can you get?
But yes, that is one of the other video games. It's like a puzzle game.
The book is all about using spells in unusual and creative ways, such as calming a fire, using alternate flame and frost spells to make something brittle and break, and so on. You pick up a number of useful tips which will improve your spellcasting. This book teaches the ancient Oriental art of talk fool. How to overcome opponents by attacking them with the unpronounceable names of martial arts forms and confusing them with fortune cookie wisdom. You get lost somewhere between karate and kuksurf. This book teaches you how to use the stair stepper to build strong leg muscles and talks about the importance of whole body development. It says to build up your strength gradually by adding weights to the baskets.
Alright.
Hey, this isn't a lending library. Nice try. But the bookshelf won't budge. If there's a secret passage around here, it's hidden a different way.
Hint, hint.
All of the hooks are empty.
Yeah, so this is actually where the entrance to the Thieves Guild in this game is. It's behind this picture, and you have to do a puzzle with these hooks to open it. Since we're not a thief, we can't get in here. But anyway, let's keep exploring town. There's still one area we haven't seen yet. Hello.
You greet the old man.
Good day. Have you seen my honor? I am Nikolai. Have you seen my honor? Honor. Have you seen my honor? I am looking for honor. Have you seen honor?
No, I have not.
Tell the old man goodbye.
If you see honor, tell her I am looking for her.
Yeah, so this is the subject of a side quest throughout this game, is finding Anna for this guy. And that's his house over here. It's a Thieves Guild target. But in the meantime, we have this bit.
It looks like a gigantic stone nose. Who knows what it really means?
Yeah. Puzzle house, because we're about to go for a bunch of puzzles. After we play a game of Simon.
faintly hear a voice saying, "Don't knock! Come on in!" from beyond the door. You hear mysterious bubbling and sizzling noises. Every once in a while you think you hear someone muttering to himself.
Ah, yes, this bit. So, yes. Goddamn slider puzzle, unfortunately. We do at least have this bit to help us. Yeah, so it's not quite a slider puzzle. Yeah, that's not right. Aha!
The door remains securely locked.
Thanks. Alright, well, we need to find a key, so let's go check these other rooms.
You hear something bouncing around behind the door. A lot of somethings.
Hmm.
How interesting. It sounded as though someone knocked on the other side of the door as well, several times.
Alright, well, let's see what's inside. Oh. It's Antwerp's.
Oh no, you've been Antwerped. Fortunately, these are just baby Antwerps, so the attack wasn't fatal.
So we're not gonna get crushed from the sky. Oh, the statue's blowing bubbles.
Oh, fortunate.
Oh. What's this thing? I see. Alright, well, let's see. No. No. Also no. No. Yes. No. Okay. Is it bigger than a red box? No. No. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Actually, Avocado and garlic. A delicious combination.
You bait the trap with avocado from your sandwich. Avocado was never high on your list of favorite foods anyway. The trap starts working. You've caught an Antwerp. It's simply amazing.
Alright, now that we've caught an Antwerp, what's in here?
You don't hear anything behind this door. There is no response to your knock. This is the Antwerp maze. Antwerps are naturally bouncy, so all you have to do is continually rotate the maze until the baby Antwerp bounces over to the key, then out through the exit.
Alright. No, that's not right. Oh, got a key.
Congratulations. You've used the baby Antwerp to get Dr. Cranium's laboratory key from the maze. You add the key to your keyring.
Alright. Now we've done all that, we can go in the door.
Manage to find Dr. Cranium's keyhole and open the door. You pass through into Dr. Cranium's private laboratory.
Quickly, Igor, the fluid. I must have the fluid. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was Igor coming in to assist me. He helps out in the lab sometimes. Now then, what can I do for you?
You say hello to the scientist.
Welcome to my laboratory. You must have more than the usual intelligence and perseverance to have made it in here.
You introduce yourself to Dr. Cranium and tell him a little about your adventures.
I should be most interested to hear about your travels and your scientific discoveries along the way. Unfortunately, I have very little time for that right now. Perhaps we can discuss your adventures when you next return.
You explain to Dr. Cranium that magic is really a lot like science, and even deals with the same elements.
Oh, nonsense! There's no such thing as magic. There is only science. What you call magic is simply scientific phenomena that have not yet been properly investigated and catalogued. My name is Dr. Cranium. I am Moldavia's chief scientist and a certified genius. Some call me mad, but I much prefer Dr. Cranium. Ah, yes, science. I'm glad you asked. Science is the process of systematically increasing our knowledge of the world through observation and experiment. Unfortunately, some of the townspeople here seem to have no concept of the wonders of science. Some of them even claim my little inventions are magical. Such poppycock. There's no such thing as magic.
That's false.
Still, the townspeople insisted that I should be able to use my magic to cure wounds and sickness. I told them that I am a scientist, not a doctor, but they wouldn't listen. I had little choice but to concoct some simple elixirs. They were childishly pleased. Science is really so simple once you understand it.
Alright, so yeah, you may be wondering, where's the apothecary in this game? And, well, it's this asshole. However, there's a bit of a gimmick to this.
If you want to improve your stamina, then you should make sure you eat a healthy diet from all the different food groups and get plenty of aerobic exercise. That is science.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no stamina potion in this game, and unlike the last game, there's no alternative either. So yeah, you can only rest to restore that now. You may notice that he doesn't have any sort of magic restore potion, but there is an alternative to that. But more on that later.
Oh, you must mean my patented healing drink. You may have my last one. Unfortunately, I have forgotten the formula for its main ingredient. If you can help me remember it, I will be able to make some more healing drinks, although the work is very time-consuming.
So yeah, copy protection. That's what this is. The second time in the franchise they went with some copy protection. Let's see. Yeah, you find these in the book that comes along with the game, which I don't have open, but I do have a guide that has the solution for this. We need water, wind, fire, pizza, wind. Water, wind, fire, pizza, wind.
Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions.
So yeah.
Oh, you must mean my new universal poison antidote. You may have this one, but I will need some help with the formula to make more. Also, I am afraid I only have time to make one each day.
Yeah. So that's the gimmick with this, is you have to give him the formula, and then he will make you one each day. But you get them for free, so there is that. Alright, so pizza, pizza, wind, pizza, pizza. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of formulas. It's randomized, I think. And
Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions.
alright.
You ask Dr. Cranium if he can spare an empty flask for specimen collection.
Of course, of course. I am always delighted to assist scientific research of any kind, and I have plenty of flasks. You may have this one.
Alright.
Experiments are the meat and drink of science. First, you must come up with a hypothesis based on your understanding of the scientific elements. Then perform an experiment to test the hypothesis. Afterwards, you have a pizza. Earth is for solidity and stability. Air gives freedom and movement. Fire provides power and energy. Water, fluidity, and life. Pizza, of course, is the most important element of all.
Of course.
Pizza represents the essence of well-roundedness and regaining strength. Most importantly, you can have it delivered in under half an hour in most areas. A hypothesis is a scientific guess. One predicts the result of an operation, performs an experiment to test the prediction, then has a pizza to celebrate the result. It is very important to stay flexible, however. Sometimes the experiment may give a different result than predicted by the hypothesis. Since real scientists don't like to make mistakes, we always write the hypothesis in pencil. Pizza is a crucial ingredient in many scientific formulae. There is a nearly infinite variation in its effects, depending on whether one starts with pepperoni, mushrooms, artichokes, or plain cheese. One should always order extra pizza in case the experiment requires additional materials. Besides, science is hungry work.
At least it didn't say pineapple.
There is, of course, no such thing as magic. There is only science. Still, you would be amazed at how gullible some people are. Just the other day, someone gave me this scroll saying it was a magical spell. Can you believe that? It is purest poppycock. Nothing on here makes any sense whatsoever. Here, you may have this as a reminder that magic is a figment of fevered imagination. Only science is real.
Obviously, Dr. Cranium needs to take a correspondence course from the famous wizard school. As you read the scroll, you find that you have learned the incantations and gestures with which to cast a glide spell. Then the scroll vanishes.
Our first spell of the game.
See, it was not even a very good piece of parchment. Fell right apart. Igor is the gravedigger and tombstone carver. Business has been slow lately, perhaps because there are very few people left in town. So Igor sometimes comes in to help me with my work. Igor has had less work of late. The forest is just as dangerous, but there aren't very many people left in town who are stupid enough to go out there at night, you know. I like to think of it as a sort of evolution in action. Igor is carving out quite a niche for himself in the gravestone business. You might say he is well on his way to becoming a rock star. Then again, you might not. The cemetery is outside of town to the east. It has proven a fruitful source of materials for my experiments. There are also some interesting and cryptic puzzles to be solved there. Essential etheric fluid is an important ingredient in my formula for reanimating dead bodies. It contains the essence of the element of water, the most important ingredient in life science. This laboratory is where I perform some of my most important research. Lately, I have been trying to bring life back to a dead body and to brew the perfect cup of tea. Reanimating the dead is just another day's work in the life of a scientist. Even science cannot bring a person back right the way they were, but one can use scientific principles to restore the semblance of life and energy to formerly dead flesh. The one alchemical combination that I have thus far been unable to fully analyze is that of a good cup of tea. I'm sure there must be a way to duplicate the effects of nature, but the results have not been promising so far. Perhaps you would like a cup of spearmint and beefsteak tea? I thought not. This is even harder than rehydration solution and reviving dead tissue. Research is the heart and soul of science. Without constant experimentation to prove or disprove one's hypotheses, the scientist is left trying to solve the world's problems by guesswork. That is hardly the most efficient way to achieve results. I try to maintain a modest selection of useful experimental equipment in my simple laboratory. Unfortunately, it has become very difficult to obtain the most modern scientific accessories since the road out of the valley became closed by the swamp.
Alright.
Mad? Mad? They all call me mad, but what do they know of madness? I am not mad. A bit perturbed about the world situation and how I get so little respect, perhaps, but certainly not mad.
Alright.
It's too dangerous to use magic.
Well, bye, I guess.
Please be careful not to break the beakers or crack the flasks on your way out. Come back and visit again. Oh, and if you see Igor, please tell him I still need the fluid.
So, yeah. We will unfortunately have to do the Simon puzzle to get in here again, but everything else is one and done. Hey, Igor.
The headstone carver stares at you.
Alright, nothing new.
He looks at you.
Well, guess nothing left to do but to go in this place.
Bad place. Very bad place. Go away. You'll be very sorry.
You push the Dark One sign into the indentation on the door. It fits perfectly.
Well, this place is, something.
That's one of the windows you could see from the street. This is a fairly attractive, in a Baroque way, display cabinet with a glass door. This amazingly lifelike sculpture looks like a cross between a baby troll and a hermit or dervish. It fits the description of a domovoi, except that it's totally dried out and unmoving. You can't budge it. If you want to do anything with the sculpture, you'll have to do it here. You don't think you should break someone else's property. It just isn't the honorable thing to do. Of course,
Even an
if you had a
evil
way to
cult?
destroy the entire evil abode, you'd do it in a second. Nice consistency of belief, eh?
Yeah.
A long wooden table attests to a time when this room was used to double as a communal dining room for the monks. It doesn't budge. It's a six-tentacled, octopus-like creature. I guess you'd call it a hexapod. Unless you like cats, then you might call it a hexapus. The window seems to be secured by a bar on the outside, probably because it's almost inaccessible from the inside. You can't go out that way.
Well, let's leave then.
You retrieve the Dark One sign from the monastery door, then quickly step away before the hectopus can react.
Well, alright then. That is everything to do in town at the moment. Let's go see Arana's piece. Mentioned it was east of town. Oh, here's our
The
graveyard.
majestic mountains in the background provide a beautiful contrast to the grim gravestones and crypts of the cemetery.
Well,
The inscription on this headstone reads, Michael Med bumped his head in another man's bed. Now he's dead. Rest in peace.
oh. Sounds like Michael's having a good time.
This gravestone is marked, No effort could Elissa save. She passed into a watery grave. Her body was lost, only her memory remains. Here lies Janos, faithful forever to his lost true love, laid beside her empty grave. A fresh grave has recently been opened here. 2 spare coffins await their customers here. Apparently Igor has finally managed to get ahead of business. This headstone reads, On a dare, Pasha Sperry spent the night in the cemetery. Something gave him such a fright that now he sleeps here every night. Here lies the spirit of Barney Blue. To his lover was untrue. So she knew just what to do. Fixed herself some Barney stew. Here lies the body of Carrie Nation, who answered a vampire's invitation. Now there's cause for lamentation. It was a fatal recreation. Arkin Tenor walked at night. Arkin saw his final sight. Now the question seems to be, what in the world did Tenor see? An inscription on the door says, House of Ligeia Poe. May she rest forever. A heavy stone door seals off the Borgov family crypt. A relief carving on the door shows the crest of the House of Borgov.
Alright.
This climbing business isn't quite as simple as that book made out. You'll have to keep practicing. This climbing business...
Oh. Hustles for that one.
Climbing business...
How about that?
This
Anyway. Oh, now he's moving fast. Alright, I think Arana's pieces to the east here. Or garden, rather.
You have come to a beautiful garden deep within the forest. A stream flows gently in a loop around the central island. Feelings of peace and harmony permeate the area.
So you know how I mentioned that we had a magic restore alternative? Well, here it is.
Your magical lasso floats towards the tree and plucks a single ripe fruit from its branches.
So yeah, these fruits. You eat these fruits and they restore your magic. Much like with the other potions, you can only get one a day, but yeah. But anyway.
A soft, magical aura permeates the entire garden. Strong magic emanates from the fruit tree and the center of the pool in the stream. The lanterns are also magical.
Ah, your big hint.
You discover 30 crowns hidden there. You accept it as a gift from Irana. It doesn't.
But hello there.
You can't... capture the scroll with your fetch spell. As you read the scroll, knowledge of how to cast a protection spell enters your mind. Then the scroll vanishes. Protection is a sort of magical shield which will help guard you from physical attacks.
Yep. Our reward for this. So yeah, for the first time in the franchise, we finally have a shield spell. Mine took 7 games.
A pile of soil has been removed from the hole in the ground. It looks like high-quality topsoil. That's a dirty job that you don't particularly need to do at the moment.
Alright. So I think that's everything we can do here at the moment. Why did this get jacked up? Oh, dead end. Oh. Someone's coming. Oh. This thing.
You cast the protection spell. It gives you a warm, safe feeling.
Our deadliest foes here. Yes, that was in fact a killer rabbit.
The cute, innocent, well, maybe not exactly, little bunny has been viciously slaughtered and now looks like a roadkill.
Our vampire rabbits.
There is absolutely nothing in the little rabbit's fanny pack. Well, maybe a pocket watch, but you don't need one of those. Your protection spell has worn off. There's something strange about this bush. Maybe it's the eyes. Oh, forget it. It's probably just an ordinary, everyday bush with blood-red berries and tentacle-like branches. There's something strange. You sense no magic in this area. A feeling of peace and tranquility. There's something...
Can I fetch a berry?
You try to fetch some berries from the bush. That hurt. That really hurt. You think that would be a relief in comparison. A feeling of... That's not a great idea. The bush would start with the hand you offer it. That hurt. You think that would...
Alright. Bush. Ah, alright. We just need the shoot bush.
You've managed to knock a branch with some berries loose from the bush. You retrieve the berries from the loose branch and store them carefully in a pocket of your pack.
Alright. Alright, back. Yep, we're back at town. Alright.
You cast the protection spell. You cast...
Do that twice. Alright.
There is absolutely nothing in the little rat...
Up here.
A heavy gate blocks the way to the winding road. Far in the distance, you can see a majestic castle.
Welcome to Moldavia. It's nice to have some fresh blood around here. We so seldom see strangers. It is so difficult to get past the swamp which blocks the pass to and from the valley. We haven't had a stranger here since the rains created the swamp several years ago. You've obviously done quite a lot for one person. It will be interesting to see what you do around here.
Alright. Who are you?
I am Boris Stovich.
That's, the name of, the general store lady's husband.
This is the castle of the Boyars.
You're
the
supposed to be
title of
dead.
the rulers of Moldavia. It once belonged to the Borgov family for generations, but the last Borgov has been dead for many, many years. Moldavia is the name of this valley and of the town. Even the inn is called the Hotel Moldavia. The name means Dark Valley. The heads of the Borgov family were the Boyars of Moldavia for ages. The last Borgov disappeared at the time of darkness. No one knows what became of him. It is bad luck to even speak of the time of darkness. Moldavia was a safe and lovely land before that time. Much has changed since then, and for the worse. Boyars are rather like barons of other lands. They own the castle and protect everyone within their domain. I'm not certain who all lives in the castle. I so seldom see anyone from there. There's the master, of course. Then there's the strange foreigner. There's also the master's daughter, I believe, and some rather strange guards. Beyond that, I really can't say.
Hmm.
I haven't actually seen the daughter. but I know the master is quite proud of her. The master desires privacy, and I respect that wish. As I always say, the will of the master is the shall of the servant. I wrote that. He is an unpleasant sort, with a short beard and moustache, and a funny hat. He is rude when giving orders, and he has the habit of staring at a person and licking his lips. Most unsavory. I have only caught glimpses of them occasionally, but I don't think they are quite human. No matter. If a man does a good job, then whether he is a man does not matter. This is the gate to Borgov Castle. You can see it in the distance behind here. I am here to make certain that only welcome guests may enter through here in the daytime. At night, this gate is guarded by huge necrotaurs, who make certain no one tries to enter without permission. The town of Mordavia is to the east of here. Turn to the east as you leave and continue until your way is blocked by rocks. Then turn north, and you will find the gates of the town.
Alright. And that's all we can do here now.
Farewell, and may you find whatever you seek.
Your protection spell has worn off.
Goodbye, young man. May the fireplace be warm and the drink cold at your journey's end.
Alright, there's one more thing I want to do. And I need to go back to town for it.
You pick
some
some
flowers.
flowers and put them away.
Now, will this
After
be
some rest,
nighttime?
you feel better.
No, not yet. Okay, two more things actually then. Go down. Can I go west here, can I? No. Might be here. There we are.
You have a strange, disquieting feeling along with a sense of sorrow, longing, and unfulfilled desires as you near the lake. The briny lake seems to draw you towards it.
Hello there. Could you help me? This water is so cold and I need someone to help warm me. Why don't you come to my arms so that I can give you a real greeting? Surely a hero like you will help someone like me. Please, take my hand. It is so cold here in the lake. Please, come and hold me and help me to be warm again.
Nothing suspicious about this.
I am the Rizalka. Please, take my hand and
Ah. Warned about this.
if you take my hand, I'll be happy to show you what the lake is like.
If you take my arms, I'll be happy to talk to you about anything you'd like.
You ask what a nice girl like her is doing in a place like this.
It's so nice here in the water. Why don't you join me?
Well. Alright.
It is so...
Why not? For nothing bad will happen here.
You wade out to the lake woman and take her in your arms. Her skin is soft but very cold. The lake spirit moans softly as she holds you closer and closer and tighter and tighter, then pulls you down into the lake.
Well. Alright.
It is so cold.
What if we give you flowers?
Thank you for the beautiful flowers. No one has been so nice to me since I can remember. I guess I shouldn't try to drown you now, since you've been so kind.
Well, if you insist.
You tell the Rusalka about some of your previous adventures.
Gee, you've done a lot to get rid of monsters and things. You don't think I'm some kind of monster, do you? I mean, just because I'm undead and drown people, you don't think I'm bad?
Well...
It is lonely being a Rusalka. Anytime anyone nice comes along, I pull him into the lake and drown him. Once he's drowned, he's not much company, I'm afraid. I've been a Rusalka for so long, I've forgotten. This lake is surrounded on 3 sides by steep mountains. To the southwest, it merges with a swamp. The lake is not a safe place for you to swim. Many unpleasant things lurk in the deep water. The swamp is definitely a creepy place. Dead things lie under the water and try to drag the living underneath. Kinda sounds like my job description, doesn't it? Well, the things in the swamp are a whole lot nastier than I am, so be careful out there. I stay far away from them. They crawled into the lake from the swamp one day. Ugh, they remind me of worms and give me the creeps. I don't know much about the forest. I can't leave my lake, so I don't get around there much.
You ask what a nice girl like her is doing in a place like this.
I don't really know. I've been here for such a long time now. I mean, it's not like I can go anywhere. I can't leave the lake. It's my job to drown anyone who comes to the lake. That's what being a Rusalka is all about. I think I remember the town. I must have lived there once. Other than the fact it's somewhere to the northeast, I guess I can't tell you much about it.
Alright then.
Please, come visit me again sometime. It's nice to have a friend to talk to.
Back to town. It's getting dark. Go get a meal first.
You hear movement on the other side of the door. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking the bolts on the other side of the door. The inhabitants of the inn eye you suspiciously. You get the feeling that you're not particularly welcome here. They all stare at you for a moment, then go back to talking amongst themselves.
Well,
We do not believe in heroes in Mordavia.
We have no need of heroes here.
Yeah, I mean a hero's a nice sandwich, but I don't want to live next door to one.
Actually, I had an uncle once who was a hero.
Will you give me a break with all this hero stuff? Enough!
alright, let's have food.
You get a fine meal of roast duckling a la garlic.
I am well. My wife keeps the kitchen, and I keep the inn. Together, we make the Hotel Mordavia the best place to stay in all this valley. They come in here in the evening to talk, to drink, and relax. My wife prepares and serves 2 hearty meals a day. I am sure you will find them satisfying. Just sit down in the chair by the door, and Bella will be happy to serve you.
Alright.
Garlic is our national vegetable. We all love garlic around here, don't we, my friends?
Of course. Hey, everyone loves garlic.
Yeah, it's stinky. It's our country's flower.
I don't care much for garlic.
I don't remember asking.
Alright, well, let's talk to the farmers.
You know, we don't get many strangers here, now that the pass outside's been cut off.
He's right. We don't trust ones who come here by unknown means.
Yeah, particularly strangers we don't know.
We tend to be kinda suspicious of strangers, and I think I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah, that's why we made the sign that says strangers are unwelcome and unwanted.
Right. And in our own subtle way, we try to get across the fact that we don't like them very much.
Strangers bring bad luck.
Strangers bring trouble.
Actually, the last stranger brought a jester's hat and a staff, but we still don't trust him.
Anything else you want to know, stranger? You know, there's another stranger in town besides you.
Oh, and let me tell you, he is very strange, okay?
Strange? The dude ain't even human.
No one knows how he got here or why he came.
No one knows where he goes during the day, or who he's trying to meet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he tells jokes. At least I think he does.
Yeah, he says he's a real jester.
He dresses like Sonny Bono.
And he acts like a gnome.
He is a gnome, Einstein. The town of Mordavia is a very safe place to be, gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, you got nothing to fear within the walls of the town.
Other than the old monastery.
Yeah, the old monastery. As long as you don't venture into the old monastery, you'll be safe as milk in this town.
Yeah, as long as you don't even think of getting near the old monastery, you're gonna be okay.
Did I, mention the monastery door?
Oh, yeah, right. The monastery door. Look, as long as you don't go near the monastery door...
In fact, nowhere near the monastery. Don't even think about it.
You'll be perfectly safe in the town of Mordavia.
Hey, look. There's nothing wrong with us.
Yeah, we're okay. We've been tested.
Well, to tell you the truth, I do feel a cold sore coming on.
Hey, Mordavian nights are dangerous.
Oh, he's right, you know. Nobody goes out at night, except my girlfriend, but she's working.
Her and a few ghosts, and revenants, a wraith, and vampire or two.
Hold it, put it in park. There are no vampires in Mordavia.
Vampires in Moldavia. Whoever heard of such nonsense?
I hate to burst your bubble, but my Uncle Fred was bitten by a vampire once.
Your Uncle Fred's alive and well and retired till Silmaria? Hello?
Yeah, I know him. He sends you a postcard every harvest time saying, "Where's my $20?"
Well, he had a miraculous recovery.
Alright.
They nod at you in response. You've never seen so many locks and bars on a door. You can't find any way to open it.
It is very dangerous in Mordavia at night. We always keep things locked up when it gets dark. I will let you out for now. If you wish to return later this evening, just knock on the door. If you do not make it back by the closing of the inn, may you rest in peace.
Alright, now it's nighttime.
A shiver of cold comes over you. You sense no danger, but even so, you find yourself afraid.
Ah.
I am what once was the Paladin Piotr. The sorrows of this land are my sorrows, and I cannot rest. Thou art a paladin, and so shall share my fate. Unless ye ease the sorrows of this land and heal the pain.
So yeah, this bit is a Paladin exclusive thing. Piotr's ghost doesn't show up if you're playing any of the other
The
classes.
massive gate to this town is securely barred to protect it from things that go bump in the night. You cannot leave the town this way.
Let's fly. Yeah, I just want to show the pumpkins at night.
You're getting some good practice in climbing. You'll need to keep practicing before you'll be able to make it over this wall. It was built to keep monsters out of the town.
How are we doing? Alright, well, let's fly back over. Where are we? But anyway, the thing I want to show off is here. What happens when we sleep? By the staff.
You feel the sensation of floating freely in a swirling cloud of magic. You are warm and safe, surrounded by the sound of peaceful beauty. You feel as if you are suddenly totally alive. You can remember every happy moment of your past, taste every favorite sensation, hear all the colors of the universe. This is the true joy of living. Suddenly, you find yourself trapped by darkness. You cannot breathe. The darkness is tearing the warmth, life, and magic from your body. Pain. The agony of lungs without air. The burning cold of a body trapped in ice. The terror of helplessness as death approaches. You float, cold and lifeless.
So yeah, that was a thing.
You gradually wake, shaking off the shreds of dreams that cling to your memory.
And on that terrifying note, I'm going to call it here. So, thank you all for watching. I will, of course, be continuing this next week. As we've got the early stuff done. Next time, lots of grinding and a lot more plot. But be sure to tune in for that. And of course, tune in on Thursday for whatever I decide to play. We'll find out when we get there. And that is also gonna raid Highwing. Go up, say hi to him. And of course, thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
I think... Oh, hey, Death!